this bill. Tax relief, they say, for working people and families. Spending cuts, they say, to steer our government budget towards solvency. Of course, a boost in defense spending to keep our military what they believe will be the strongest in the globe. And then a surge in funding, of course, for immigration laws and to secure our border, to include building a border wall. Joining us now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Real quick, explain to us how extending those Trump tax cuts and adding these new tax cuts, like the 3 years of Social Security deduction, tip deduction, and overtime deduction, explain how that's going to affect the Americans' pay.
Well, it's going to be with everybody this weekend. First of all, if you were going to have a soaring economy into the future, we had to keep Donald Trump's tax policy in place. If we let that lapse, America would have saw a 68% tax increase. That's what Democrats voted for the other day. They voted to raise taxes on every American, small business owners, middle-income Americans, working class Americans. So you got to keep taxes steady from where they've been the last 8 to 9 years. Number two, the new stuff, no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. What that's going to do is help hardworking people in our country and seniors on fixed income. Going to help them keep more money in their pocket. And what does that actually mean in the long run? That means they'll have more flexibility for their own spending decisions that they're going to make, which will then yield to more economic growth. If you have sound tax policy while also making sure people have more money in their pocket, as opposed to the government giving them checks or other subsidies, it will yield more economic growth in the future.
Congressman, always good to see you. Not a single Democrat voted for this law, remarkably claiming the Medicaid work requirements are a death sentence.
People will die. Tens of thousands.
People that I'm talking to that I represent, Pam, who don't know if they're going to survive, literally survive this.
People will die.
This bill is trickle-down cruelty, and people will die because of it.
This bill is a deal with the devil.
Apparently AOC's devil is a Democrat, because in the past, a few of their presidents praised work requirements for welfare.
Our nation's answer to this great social challenge will no longer be a never-ending cycle of welfare. It will be the dignity, the power, and the ethic of work.
There's nothing shocking hidden in this bill. It's all been out there before. A block grant to the states, a 5-year time limit, work requirements.
The height of hypocrisy. Congressman, the requirement is just 80 hours of work a month for able-bodied adults, something a large majority of Americans and even 47% of Democrat voters support. So, what do you believe is the real reason that Democrats are opposed to this legislation?
The reason Democrats are opposed is because we're beginning the process of unwinding the massive expansion that started with Barack Obama and continued with not that Joe Biden that you just put up, but the last Joe Biden that everybody remembers. Those two presidents, they massively expanded not just Medicaid, but the welfare state overall. So all we're saying is, if you're able-bodied, between the ages of 18 and 55, you have to work 20 hours a week. Just 20, and it's not even just work. It's work, going to find a job, volunteering, or going to school. That's what we said. So if the Democrats are going to go tell the American people that people having to either find a job or volunteer or go to school 20 hours a week means that they're going to die, once again, the Democrats are lying. It's simply not true. The other piece of this bill in Medicaid and also in SNAP is that we're going to stop these states, especially New York and California, from gaming the Medicaid system so that they can fund their budgets with federal money in order to give welfare and Medicaid to illegals. That's the other thing that we do in this bill. So they're lying because they didn't get their way. They don't want to tell the truth, because if they told the American people the truth, by polling, we know the American people vehemently disagree with the Democrats, but why are we surprised?
Congressman, let's talk for a moment about the $150 billion that's allocated to immigration enforcement in the law. Border crossings are down. They're sharply down in June. And these border crossings are the lowest since the 1960s. So what will this new funding really accomplish that the current funding doesn't?
What the new funding is going to go for is to get the 10 million illegals that Joe Biden let in, to get them out of the United States. Listen, we've had decades-long problems with illegal immigration in America, but what Joe Biden did the last 4 years was reprehensible. Our cities, our counties, our states cannot hold tens of millions of illegals. We simply can't. So the $150 billion sets up the logistical framework that Kristi Noem and Tom Homan need. Additional bed space, additional manpower, the logistical vehicles that are going to be needed to deport 10 million people out of the United States. And let's be clear, I know we are starting with criminal illegal aliens. Everybody wants to see that happen. But the people that came in the last 4 years, they have to go home. And if you talk to Kristi Noem and her team, there's a bunch of people who have decided to go home by themselves already. They decided to self-deport. We cannot keep them here. That money helps us put up the manpower and the logistics to send them back to their homes.
And this is over many years, right? It's not an annual budgetary item for border enforcement.
No.
$150 billion.
That $150 billion is going to be for the entire mission over many years. You are correct.
Okay.
Congressman, Democrats are planning to campaign against this bill in the midterms, focusing on the spending cuts to Medicaid and other social programs. Are you concerned at all that this could damage some Republicans, especially those in blue districts, jeopardizing Republican control of the House in 2026?
No, I'm not concerned, and here's why. Number one, we kept small business taxes low. Number two, we provided the largest middle-class tax cut in American history. Number three, we are answering the challenge that the American people gave us about sending illegal aliens back to their home countries. Number four, the reforms to Medicaid actually will help to save Medicaid for the most vulnerable. We have to begin to prioritize the original purpose of Medicaid, which is the elderly who are poor children, pregnant women and mothers who have multiple children, and people who have real disabilities. That needs to be what we focus Medicaid on once again in the United States. And to my colleagues who are in these tough districts, and I know all of them, you have to go home and tell the truth. You have to be consistent about it. You cannot let up. And I believe that if they do that in those districts, coupled with a great economy by President Trump and a much safer America because he secured our border once and for all, we'll keep those seats, and we're probably going to add some more.
Congressman Byron Donalds, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this holiday Saturday night, and congratulations on all the hard work.